Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Blue Table Talks series. My name is Pila Dlamini. My friends call me PhD for short because Pila's so complicated. And I'm very excited to be here again this evening with you to talk everything about cross-border transaction and the changes thereof. And I'm here as always with a brilliant, incredible panel from your favorite bank, Standard Bank Eswatini. I'm featuring Siganye Zwane, Pamela Nhlengetwa, and Fanele Mdluli. And they will introduce themselves in a bit. But today, they're here to help me unpack, demystify, and make it so easy to speak about our CMA regulatory changes. We will explain what CMA is and how this will affect our cross-border payments. We know that you, our clients, do a lot of transactions in between countries. So today we are here to speak about the changes and whatever the effect are going to be of those changes to our payments. But from our speakers right now, I'll allow them each to introduce themselves and let us know what they do and why they are here to speak about these changes and the effects thereof. I'll start on my immediate left with Siganya. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Pila. My name is Siganya Zwane. I look after card and payments in Standard Bank. My key role in this function is that I have been supporting the team in the migration to the CMA, where we will then unpack more what it is. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation, just to also give comfort to our clients that we do have their best interest at heart.
Absolutely. Pam.
Hi, good evening. My name is Pamela Nhlengetwa. I'm the manager at Digital Platforms. My role is to look after our digital channels, which is the USSD, internet banking, and the app, and to ensure that our clients are able to access these at the time when they need them and they can securely transact, and to ensure that they have a smooth client experience, which also speaks to the conversation we are here today. We want to ensure that with all the changes that are happening in the background, our clients are still able to transact CMA transactions.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And last but not least, the thorn amongst the roses.
Good evening, everyone. Fanele Mdluli. I look after transactional solutions and client implementation within the corporate investment space within the bank. So the reason why we're here, or the reason why I'm here, especially, is just to provide a bit of clarity in terms of the changes that are happening, especially in the corporate space for our corporate customers, just to give them assurance that we as a bank have done, the necessary things in the background just to make sure that their transactions are seamless going forward. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much and welcome to all three of you. I'm happy to be here this evening with you. And if you're at home, I'm pretty sure just from their titles, you know you're in safe hands, right? We all are in safe hands. Let's not panic. Change is the only constant in the world, but we're here to ensure that we hold each other by the hands and we land these changes safely. And these are experts. We'll speak to them this evening. If you have any questions, depending on which platform you're watching us from, please drop a comment there and ask your question, and we'll try by all means in the allocated time to answer as many questions as we can. If you cannot answer it live on the show, we'll ensure to come back to the comment and we will respond to you in kind. Let's get into it. Let's get the ball rolling. We'll start with the bank's manager, Card and Payment Solutions, Ganye, who will share insights with us, some of the changes within CMA payments. First and foremost, we're hearing a lot of CMA, and then the changes of CMA. Some of us didn't even know there was CMA before we knew that CMA is now changing. In layman terms, Sganye, what does CMA mean, first and foremost, and what are the changes that are happening to CMA, and why are the changes happening?
Thank you, Pilar. So CMA, as we may understand, is the Common Monetary Area, which is the countries of Namibia, Lesotho, South Africa, and Eswatini, who are all trading on a one-to-one of a ZAR. So when we're talking about the CMA, we're talking about the Common Monetary Area. So the change that we're talking about tonight is early last year, the Central Bank of Eswatini notified us as banks that there will be changes on the current Common Monetary Area EFT processing of transaction. That is how we currently process cross-border payments between the different CMA countries. So that meant that we now need to move from the way we have been sending money and find alternatives of how we would send that money. There were different alternatives that were put to the institutions, and I think each institution took one that was suitable and viable for them to work on. So I think today is just to give further guidance on what does this mean for the client and how do we manage it going forward. So I think it's just that there was a point where they said, come September 2024, we're going to have a full cut-off on these rails that we were using, which were the CMA EFT rails managed by BankServe in South Africa, and we're going to use one more of international standard and something that is also secure and safe for clients, and so that we are also able to report genuine cross-border transactions, because currently our transactions were seen as domestic because we're all operating on one rail. And so to meet international standards, we do need to show that this is genuine. Swaziland is independent from the next, and also just to grow and also enhance our payment landscape.
So just to make sure that Eswatini is not considered a province of any country, right?
Exactly.
You are a country
Exactly.
on our own. It must be seen. All right, that makes sense. But now, in what does it mean for me as an ordinary Liswati who was transacting and sending money to South Africa or any other part of Africa, but in the CMA area, pretty much? What are the maybe one or two changes that I will see in my transactions?
Okay, I think one of the big changes that come in with this is I would talk about debit order collections. So previously you would find ngoba vele kuyendeka kwekuthi bokhanza ukuthi I've got insurance yami yase Old Mutual, but the Old Mutual was South Africa, not the one in country. So the collection yami was coming from South Africa. So we cannot, that Old Mutual cannot collect from you any longer. But as a bank, we have tried to engage and understand kokuthi bobani lama collectors, bobani lama investors, and then try to say that if unalo office la kaNgwane, sale ubuka indlela yokuthi you come and you collect for those clients in that way. That way, it also helps the clients to not panic on ukuthi insurance yami. So utawuva ukuthi how sendlu insurance ngoba so ayisabhadaleki le ndlela beyibhadaleka ngayo previously. So I think it's those things that we've also just said, you know what, if it's a small, make sure ukuthi your insurer or someone has touched base with you, especially lo matiko ukuthi akekho la kaNgwane and akakhoni kutawuvula le office la kaNgwane ngalesikhathi lesi ukuthi akhone kukoleka for you directly. So I think those are the key changes. Even if you're receiving salaries from South Africa, you will still be able to receive them because we've got the capability to still take incoming salaries into your account. I think that will be just managed by individual institutions as on how they will continue to pay you on that one.
So if I'm understanding you very well, if I currently have any service provider who is taking a debit order from my account right now, it's very important for me to reach out to them and have a conversation ukuthi sesiqhubeka kanjani manje ngoba ngathi angasakhona ukuthi ingenela into my account and take some money outside of there, but I'll still be able to make payments.
You'll still be
South Africa.
You'll still be able to make payments to South Africa.
So if I was maybe having another service provider that I'm paying directly without a debit order, I'll still be able to do that.
You'll still be able to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's no need to panic.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm happy. We're starting off really well. Because when change comes, the first thing people do is just raise an alarm without understanding what the change is. And then we end up sending misconceptions to people around. So first and foremost, we will still be able to make cross-border transactions. But the one big change we've heard so far is debit orders. I think having said that, we will play a video right now that will give us much more information on some of the CMA changes. Please take it away. We are still on the CMA payments, cross-border transactions, and the changes thereof. And I'm pretty sure you've seen the video, having listened to Sganye, and you're getting more and more information, and hopefully more and more comfortable that the changes will have an impact or an effect, but it won't change much in terms of the quality of our lives. Of course, mayisuka kube nekugedletela noma ke naseyilenda nakhona kube nekugedletela, but eventually we'll be fine. We'll be cruising very, very nicely. I will bring Pamela right now into the conversation so we can learn more about the changes and what effect they will have on our digital platforms. Because a lot of us are obviously transacting online. We're using some of our favorite banks, digital branches. A lot of us are now savvy and doing everything from the comfort of our homes. So sifuna ukuva ukuthi ngeke ngithi siyangena namhla ebusuku noma kusasa sikhanze ukuthi into setshinjile. Nangabe setshinjile, how will that now operate going forward? So Pam, what changes can we expect on our internet banking interface, first and foremost?
Okay. I'm glad that we are starting with internet banking, which is a focus area for us right now. So from a customer perspective, the journey is quite very similar to what was happening before this change. One major change that they will notice is that when you go to the platform, you will no longer need to go through CMA payments, but you need to go through international payments. Yes, and then the journey from there is very similar. There are prompts to guide you through the disclaimers that you need to understand as a customer, and also we've made improvement in our BOP or purpose code reporting to enable customers to be more clear on what's the purpose of the transaction, and they can report correctly. I think that's the major change in terms of internet banking.
Oh, lovely. So just moving from CMA to international now. I think that sounds even better, eh? International payments. So we can tell our friends we're doing international transactions now. Okay, so that's straightforward. Sounds very easy. And you're saying there's prompts that will help us. And I'm pretty sure we'll share some information as well for some of our clients who might not be able to see those prompts first time, but we'll be sharing stuff, I'm pretty sure.
We'll be publishing FAQs for the questions that are commonly asked by customers, and we'll also in the next coming weeks be preparing some user guides to take the customers through their journey.
How nice. Banking with the best. User guides, FAQs, everything is going to be provided for all of us so we can enjoy a seamless experience as we do our international payments. Are there any changes on the app? If there are, what are they?
Yes, there are changes in the app in the sense that from after Monday, you won't be able to conduct CMA payments through the app, but you can still use the internet banking, which uses the same credentials as the app. So from a customer perspective, there's no additional apps you need to install. You just need to go to your favorite browser and go to our internet banking, use your same login details, that's your password and username, they are the same. So that's the only change, but it's not to say that we are removing the capability altogether.
Okay.
It's just that this is a journey, and our priority right now is to ensure that the customers can conduct the transaction. And in the next coming weeks, we will then focus to then have the journey that they are used to bring it back, the customer experience, make sure that you can conduct the same transaction on the app and on the internet banking.
Absolutely, and we trust the process. We understand, when change comes, some things won't happen as quickly as we would love them to happen. But very soon we'll be going back to first class. For now we're just gonna fly business as we start the journey. That is as far as the smart app is concerned. Otherwise, internet banking is already on first class. It's just a move from CMA payments to international payments, and then following the prompts. But with the smart app, for now, we will not be doing any international payments, but very soon we will upgrade our smart app. Now, I'm a client in Standard Bank, so I only bank with the best. And I currently have beneficiaries, within my internet banking platform. So when I'm doing a CMA payment, as it exists currently, I just go to my beneficiary and, it's a very seamless experience. So I'm wondering, with international payments, do I still have the same option, or are we taking off nicely, and then later on we move?
It's a steady takeoff. Taking off very nice. As I said, priority, you can transact. That being said, at the moment, customers won't be able to pay beneficiaries. But what we have done to smooth the customer journey is that we keep the beneficiary open so the customer can go to see who are their beneficiaries, their details, and then they will go to the once-off payments menu to do a once-off payment. Yes, and then again, in the coming week, we won't be sleeping. Customer experience is our priority, so we will be bringing back that beneficiary capability.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I think what helps about conversations like this is that we're able to demystify some of the misconceptions that are happening, right? So we are saying that our platforms are up, they're running, but of course, in the meantime, some of the functionalities will be limited, but that's not permanent. It's just that we're taking off, and then eventually we get to a point where there's a permanence, and we bring back things as we know them, and of course, being our favorite bank, we will get back to, that level as far as international payments are concerned. Thank you so much, Pamela. And to our viewers, if you have any questions for Sganya or Pamela, please go onto our platforms, throw in the comment section all of your questions. Today is your chance to ask all the difficult questions. We have the SMEs here, and we'll ask them these questions, I promise you, but only for cross-border payments for today, because I know someone is sitting at home and thinking, how do I redeem my voucher? Not today. We'll talk about that. Today we're speaking about international payments, and I'm not saying we'll not respond, we will. But we obviously want to prioritize this. As Pamela has said, right now we're speaking about payments. If you've just tuned into this conversation on any of our platforms, don't forget to like and of course share the link, and make sure to tell your friend, to tell a friend that we're having a conversation today about international payments, because we know that in this kingdom you guys are transacting across territories. You're moving around, you're doing big business, and we want you to do that seamlessly with Standard Bank Eswatini. So I'll bring in Fanele into the conversation right now. We have spoken so far about just transacting as individuals, right? But this is one of the biggest and the best banks in the country, and of course we do a lot of corporate banking, we do a lot of business banking, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody watching today who's thinking, how does this affect me as a business person? It's transacting, of course, across border lines as well, and we know that our corporate clients are already using some of the rails. I learned today. That will be adopted for us who do payments of below a certain threshold. So what would be your guidance really, and what should should those customers look out for? Especially the business customers. What should they look out for with all of these changes happening?
Yeah, thanks, Pila. So from a corporate perspective, for our corporate customers, so they are currently using Business Online as a channel for them to make cross-border payments at the moment. And with Business Online, I think Sganya has touched it quite a bit, is that with Business Online currently, we are using the correct rails, or the rails that won't be decommissioned come Monday the 9th.
Oh.
So we're already on the right track
Yeah.
of the cross-border payments from a Business Online perspective, of which a majority or even 100% of our clients are on, especially. So from a corporate perspective, for all of our corporate clients out there, they don't need to panic. We are already using the SADC RTGL's rails, of which those are the rails that won't get decommissioned come the 9th.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're good.
In layman terms, rail means channel,
good.
right? Because
Sorry?
mangiti rail, I mean the channel.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Pamela. That makes
Or rail from like a rail track.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
No, vele bengicabanga phela physical ukuthi kasi le mali ihamba ngetimela phela. All right, no, that's it. So from a business perspective, and I guess it also touches on personal. We are in a country that exports and imports, at the same time. So now I'm pretty sure someone is asking themselves the question in terms of now sending and receiving payments. I know you've said the rails are the same, but just to, clarify, once again, Gutsi, I'm buying goods from South Africa and I'm trying to send money. What is the effect thereof? Or I'm selling goods to South Africa and I'm trying to receive money. What is happening to those timelines? And is there anything that will seem different, even if it's just a bit?
Firstly, I think I'll explain from a corporate perspective. Yeah. So, like I said before, from a corporate perspective, there's no changes, right? So, if you're a corporate out there using business online as a payment channel, so nothing changes, right? You'll still be able to make your payments. They'll still reach their destinations with the stipulated time, of which is about 2 to 3 hours at the moment currently. So there's no changes on that end. So I think maybe the biggest changes or the minor changes are coming from the retail channels.
Okay.
So that's your personal internet banking and enterprise online.
Oh.
So those two channels, their payments will now go into the SADC RTGS rails that the business online payments are on currently.
Okay.
So because remember the other one is being decommissioned, right? So now we're moving all those payments that are from internet banking, personal internet banking and enterprise online into the SADC RTGS payment rails, right?
Okay.
So that's the big change in as far as that is concerned. So I think probably my advice to our clients out there, especially the ones that are on enterprise online, is perhaps maybe, data is quite important, right? So it's important that the data that you provide to the bank is accurate and is up to date.
Yeah.
Because from a cross-border payments perspective, remember now, we are supposed to report each and every transaction to the central bank, right?
Okay.
So the central bank expects us to report transactions that have got all the details that they need.
Yeah.
Just for instance, the tax identification number, the TIN number, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the data that the central bank requires us as banks to report to them to say, Pila Pty Ltd. This is their tax identification number. They are sending $1,000 to SA to pay for whatever. So my plea is just for businesses to make sure that they get in touch with their respective relationship managers to provide them with the right data, so that come Monday the 9th, everything is in place. Whenever they are doing their transactions, those transactions are being transferred to the CMA countries seamlessly. Yeah.
Thank you. So I want to break it down again, and the reason is we need to demystify everything. Corporate and investment banking, those corporate clients, and I want to believe all of our clients know themselves that I'm certainly not a corporate client. No changes, right?
Yeah.
And when you're saying enterprise online, you're speaking about some of our business clients as well.
That's correct.
We've already spoken about the personal clients, where we're now speaking of debit orders, and we're speaking about transactions, just in J, where we're moving money in and outside the country. But now you are an enterprise online business, which are, I believe, the SMMEs, yes, and the commercial,
some of the commercial
and some of the
clients.
commercial as
Yes,
well.
yes,
So they
that's
know as well where they sit
Yeah.
in the different segments. You're saying
Yeah.
there'll be some changes,
Yes.
in that regard. And one of those changes is now we need to basically have our data in order.
That's correct.
You know.
Absolutely important.
So it'll be very important that we each reach out to our relationship managers,
Correct.
And for those who are in personal, who have private bankers, reach out to your private bankers. And then for, those of us who have to go into the branches and speak to consultants as well should do the same to just get ourselves, more and more familiar with the process. But I just want to go back to the data part for the businesses.
Sure.
And how important, data is.
Yeah.
We're saying a TIN number,
Yeah.
for instance. Are there any other maybe, examples of things that, in as far as data is concerned, that we need to be very clear about?
Okay. So there's also the business address, right? The business address is very, very important. So part of the data that you provide to us as a bank, you have to make sure that your business address as a client is actually up to date.
Okay.
So you find that some of our clients, they've moved premises over the years, and the data that we hold currently is actually the old place
Address.
of business.
Yeah.
So that's quite important as well for us just to have an update so that we have the right data to basically do the transactions with.
Thank you, Fanele. And obviously, this is just the first of many conversations, right? We're trying to bring in as much information today as we can in the allocated time, which is not a lot. But as Pam said earlier, we have so much more communication that is coming out through, of course, your frequently asked questions. And we'll be sharing some user guides, going forward as well, on how to use some of our online platforms. So it'll be very important to reach out to our relationship managers from a business perspective in order to get much more finer details around these changes and what we need. Thank you for that. Very, very informative. Experts. We're sitting with experts here today. Even I'm sounding like I know. But I've just been sitting with experts. So do not feel that you're alone as you navigate through all of these changes. The bank is here. Our experts are here. The relationship managers are here. Of course, the branches, the consultants, everyone is here to ensure that you are not misinformed about the changes and that you are able to continue with seamless transactions. At this point, we'll take a short break while you take this in and think about it, and then we'll come back again and we'll continue with our conversation.
You are growing now. Your dreams are becoming reality. What was impossible yesterday is possible today. Whether you're planning for your family's future, building your legacy, buying your first home, or achieving your academic milestones, you have found a partner to transact with, lend from, insure with, and invest with. You've discovered a bank that grows with you. With Standard Bank, you have the power to make your dreams a reality. From secure online transactions and flexible lending options to comprehensive insurance coverage and smart investment opportunities, we've got you. Experience the confidence of banking with a partner who is as committed to your growth as you are. Because at Standard Bank, we believe in turning possibilities into extraordinary achievements. Now that's growth. Standard Bank.
Welcome back to our Blue Table Talk, and thank you for staying tuned in with us as we speak about cross-border payments, or CMA payments, as you would love to call them, and the changes thereof, and of course what the effects will be to you on a personal level, what they will be to you as a business owner in the commercial or the SMME space, and also maybe the lack of changes from a corporate investment size business as well. But really, it's just a conversation with some of our SMEs to try and demystify what these changes mean and what they don't mean as well. And to have a conversation around some of the things that you might need to do in order to ensure that you keep on having a seamless experience and as far as international payments are concerned. So I'll bring back Siganya into the conversation. We've already ascertained that there's little changes at corporate level, slight changes at a business level, but maybe with us, in a personal level, so I'll bring Siganya back into the conversation so that we can ask some of the, you might think are minute questions or basic questions, but that's where the detail really is. And that's where we mostly miss it sometimes. Siganya, this is a change. Some might call it a big change. But as we're having the conversations, to me, it seems like it's just a minor change, So I know our viewers at home, and surely I also have an interest in knowing this. What's happening to the fees? You're moving from CMA to international, as Pam said. Am I going to be paying more for that, for sending or receiving? What's the story around fees?
Yeah, it's actually quite a big change. And we know that change always comes with additional costs and additional new bills. But what we have done as Standard Bank is to say that let us retain the pricing we had for our CMA EFT rails as we moved, they were previously had, as approved by the regulator. So that fee has not changed. I think any fee changes, they will come in with our annual review at the end, where customers will also be advised that this is now the new pricing, which will be within the expected increase as set up by the regulator. So I'd say we haven't really moved our fees. It's still the same, what we've been charging for the whole year if you're doing an internet banking cross-border payment.
Wow. Okay, now that's nice. I think it deserves a round of applause, you know. I wish we had an audience. But if you're at home and you heard this, please give Standard Bank a big round of applause, because we've heard that we're buying a new plane pretty much, which is much more secure,
Yeah.
you know, and is much more international. But we're saying we will pay the same price.
Yeah.
I think that's good value for money. I think that's very good value for money. And thank you to the bank, really, for considering that, because, you know, as clients of the bank, the bank knows we don't have much.
Yeah.
You know.
Understands the situation.
All right. So what happens, though, in terms of, like, lead times? You know, does anything change there? Will it now take 2 more days for my payment to reflect in SA, or for the payment that is happening from SA to Eswatini to reflect the side? What's happening there?
So as Fanele has already alluded that from a corporate perspective, they were already using those rails. So at least we have that insight on how long it's going to take us. So it should be within 2 to 3 hours, but we will monitor as we start processing. I truly believe it will be far less than that, but we just need to make sure that we come out with a very solid confirmation that this is, but it's not going to take us more than 24 hours. 24 hours is actually quite a stretch, Vanille. It's quite a stretch. It's quite a stretch. I think what we just also need to note is the cut-off times, because now we've moved and, we're working off an operating system that is actually quite broad and coming in, infiltrating in different markets. So there is a cut-off time. So we expect payments to be finished and done by 3 o'clock between Monday and Friday. Okay. And as currently the case, there won't be any cross-border processes to the CMA or internationally on weekends and on public holidays. So I don't advise that you do a payment on Saturday, because there's nothing that's going to move on that one. So the recommendation is that process your cross-border as we do currently between Monday and Friday and before 3 p.m. so that we can ensure that it follows through and it goes through. Yeah.
I mean, it would be surprising for us as Maswaji to change. It's in our culture. Timbo stand exchange. Uyavuka ekuseni uyazibhedlela, uyavuka ekuseni uthatha passport, uyavuka konke siwenda ekuseni.
Asivuki emini.
Angeke nje sivuka ngabo-1. Yabona sihambe sengikhathi sifuna ukubhadala bantu in South Africa. So no, I think that's a good one. But also very impressive that the times will not be affected. Hopefully will be improved.
Yes.
It'll be very nice to monitor that and just take note of what happens. So basically, I'm pretty sure what you mean is that those are some of the critical things that people should look out for.
Yeah.
In terms of times and periods to make payments. But on weekends, we're not paying anyone, we're spending.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
So make sure money is in by 3 p.m. on Friday.
If you haven't paid it, it's Saturday, my brother. The wrong time to be paying. We should be spending, at that time. So, I mean, we've spoken about a lot of things so far. It'd be interesting to know what our viewers at home are asking right now. I'll just go onto my social media and check if we have any questions that you're asking at this point, so we can go through, because you might think we have a script and yet we don't. So let's show you we don't have a script here. We're using our SME knowledge by answering your off-the-cuff questions. So there's a question here from YouTube that says, what will happen to the credit card payment? And another one that is asking about monthly DSTV SA payments and apps like Snapchat. I know Swazis are paying DSTV Eswatini, so I'm sure it's asking for a friend, this one. So credit card payment, what's going to happen there?
From a credit card payment, so your current collections for debit card, we have been able to manage on our side, as we know that if you've got a credit card with Standard Bank, that will continue the way it has been collecting through Eswatini account, so there's no worry. And you'll still be able to continue making payments if you want to do a direct payment into your credit card through our digital channels. So that capability is still there. So your debit order, please make sure you still make provision for it so that you do not find yourself in arrears. Otherwise, because we will still be collecting from your credit card.
Oh, okay. So we're able to collect from your credit card if you're using your credit card as a payment method for a
Yes.
debit order.
Yes.
Okay, that's possible.
Yeah.
And then if you are paying towards your credit card,
You'll still be
you'll
able
still
to
be
do-
able to pay
you'll still
towards
be
your
able
credit
to
card.
pay towards your credit card.
Yeah.
And I think on the friend question on the DSTV essay, I think it's possible. It will be possible to pay.
Yeah.
Into, like if you've got the
Yeah.
banking details. So anyone
Yeah.
that you're paying, that you were paying previously in South Africa, Lesotho, Namibia, you will still be able to pay and process those payments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell your friend that they're okay. Yeah, tell your friend. So I'm pretty sure there's the next question that's asking about any changes on online payments like Takealot, Superbalist. I must say they're doing a lot of online shopping, eh? I'm so impressed.
So on those, it's a different rail and a different conversation altogether.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is using your card.
Yes.
In this instance, we're not talking about card payments.
Okay.
So that's a total different conversation for another day. So you should be able to continue using your card for online purchases.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're using your card for online purchases, nothing has changed in that regard. It's just cross-border payments that we're doing using some of our online platforms.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that was YouTube. I mean, someone was asking about clearing times, but I think we've spoken about that already.
Yeah.
That it will remain the same. Hopefully, it'll improve.
Yes.
We'll monitor it at the beginning and see. But we're looking at up to 3 hours, at least, as a minimum, and definitely less than 24 hours. And someone on Facebook is asking about receiving international payments. I'm pretty sure by international payments, this person is speaking about international, meaning from even outside the continent.
I suspect so.
I suspect so. Is
Yeah.
anything changing in that regard?
No, nothing is
is changing.
changing.
Okay. So
Even
you're
on
fine.
the CMA, nothing will be changing
Yeah.
on how you're receiving, just depending on specific regulatory lines where there is a threshold for amounts that we can receive, and
Okay.
we need to engage a customer to confirm where the funds are coming for as part of the regulations that come in for a balance of payment reporting from a central bank perspective. So it's very critical that we do say from an incoming, you may see delays primarily because gunalama regulations that we need to follow with engaging customers, angeke kuzekufana nema times. But I mean, if I know if my contact details are correct, going back to the information, it's easy ukuthi basheshe bangishayele bangithole baconfirm ukuthi wo phila ugathe 1 million yini.
I receive.
Ukuthi nangu 1 million ubuyaphi kanjani, just for regulations, because I mean we can't be just flaunting such monies,
Yeah. No, definitely. I understand. And then we have someone on Facebook as well asking about the possibility of doing transactions in Mozambique. Is it possible to do transactions in Mozambique? I don't know if this person is speaking about doing a cross-border payment in the way in which we're talking about it today, or just transacting when they're in Mozambique and using their cards, which the latter I think will remain possible because we'll be using our cards, right? Yeah. And then what about sending money to Mozambique?
You are able to send money to Mozambique now.
So it's not affected.
But it's not through our digital channels at the moment.
Okay.
So if you want to send, you're sending through the branches.
Through the branch. Okay. So
Just to add on that, so from a business online perspective, for all of our corporate customers out there, you can actually use business online to make a payment directly to Mozambique.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just the enterprise online and retail online personal internet banking for now.
For now.
Yes, for
that
now.
don't have
Yes.
that capability.
Yeah.
But that is not necessarily new because of this change.
Exactly.
It's just what has
Exactly.
been happening, over the years. But of course, as we're saying and emphasizing, for now.
For now.
So if you're a corporate client, you can continue with
You're
business
good.
online. The rest of us will continue the way we've been doing it through the branches. But as we keep on improving, then that will be coming in. And then there's another very long question here. I think it's a suggestion. I will not read it. Thank you. We take the suggestion. Is the change in payment process made from Standard Bank Eswatini to Standard Bank South Africa? Does this change affect a Standard Bank sort of transaction between Eswatini and South Africa? So if I'm transferring money to a Standard Bank South Africa account, is there any different between just doing any other international payment, or is the same?
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. I think just to highlight what we did say in the beginning when we said that one of the reasons we have the directive and the change is to show that these are genuine cross-border and not domestic. So even if
Okay.
it's Standard Bank to Standard Bank SA, that is not like a domestic, it's a cross-border transaction, even though it's in the same bank, because it's now moving between two territories.
Okay. All right. So I'll take one last question now, and then I'll read just a nice comment that I think should be read on this platform. The question is, what will happen if it is not a holiday in Eswatini, yet it is a holiday in South Africa? Can I make a payment? I think this is it's just a general question.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
That's
you
the
can.
easy answer.
That's the easiest
Yeah,
answer.
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
Right. So the holidays that actually apply are the Eswatini holidays.
Oh,
right? Yeah.
okay.
So if it's not a holiday in Eswatini, all good. You can send the money. But then the only caveat to that, because it would have been a holiday in SA, right? Which means the value, you will get value the following day or the next working day in SA.
In South Africa.
But from an Eswatini perspective, from our perspective as Standard Bank, we will process the payment as if it was like a normal day.
Because it will be a normal day
Of
for us.
course.
So in that regard, nothing is really changing.
Nothing is really changing. Yeah. It's coming across to me like it was just one of those generic questions. But it's okay. We've got a response now for that. So if it's not a holiday in Eswatini, you're good. Do your payment. But if it's a holiday, obviously in South Africa, you might have a slight delay. We don't have control over that because it is a holiday, in South Africa. And the comment says here, and I think Fanyel will be very happy to hear this one. It says, business online is the solution here. And great thing is that Standard Bank Eswatini has been on this for quite some time, which will come in
that.
handy.
Thank you. Next, for the heads up. Yay.
Thank you.
Which means all of the channels now will be going through that same rail as business online.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Well
Thank
done,
you.
Fanele.
Thank you for noting that also. I think we'll have to find this client and just, shake his hand or something, because this is obviously one of our great clients who understands our processes and some of our rails. We thank you for that as well. So it's 15 minutes before the time, but I think we've done really well, and we've debunked a lot of some of the, I'll say, misconceptions and answered a lot of the frequently asked questions. We've also delved into the questions that are being asked now on some of our channels. So we thank you all for joining us, but we are not closing yet. I'll give my SMEs here a chance to just wrap up and give you one key message that they would love to leave with you as our viewers from home. I'll thank them also for sharing their insights and sharing their expertise and answering what might have seemed to someone else as a simple question, but to some of us, myself especially, a very tough one. So I will start as I did at the beginning. Ngihambe this way. I'll start with you, Fanele. What would you love to say to our viewers at home around this, to allay some of the fears they have, and just to give them comfort, as a parting shot, to say we will be okay?
Yeah. Thanks, Pila, for that. I think what we can say to our customers is that, Standard Bank has got everything covered in as far as this changes are concerned. So, but as a takeaway, I think I'd advise our clients to get in touch with their respective relationship managers, especially the business clients and the corporate clients, just to pose any questions that they might have in as far as these changes are concerned, and also maybe if they can also reach out to their private bankers as well, just to get more information. I think that is what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fanele. Thank you so much. I'm feeling comforted. Pamela?
Fanele has said everything, but I just want to assure our customers that we are here to support them during this change. It's a change for us, it's a change for them. But also to say that it's not just businesses and private banking clients that will get support. We have a team at Voice Branch, we have a team at the branch that are promoting digital and supporting digital. We are ready to answer your question and also assist you should you face any difficulties. So Standard Bank is here.
Thank you. Standard Bank is here. Thank you so much, Pamela. And last but not least, Zigotse.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for such an engaging session. I think it's just to assure customers that, as Fanele has said, we have their best interest at heart. We would not do something that will put them off and not allow them to continue transacting seamlessly.
Yep.
The changes are quite big. It's quite a big shift in the CMA area. So I think there has been a lot of panic and worry, like I'm not hearing anything. We do have everything in control as Standard Bank. We, as Pilar said, we may move jittery to start, but definitely we will be smooth sailing with no time. And any of the changes that we might see in our digital channels is because we'll actually close those out over the month and we will stabilize. But definitely you will be able to transact in whatever way you want to transact as you previously transacted. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our experts. I think they've given us some form of comfort that we will be fine. And I think, as I said when we started, change is the only constant in the world. And just generally, when things change, people get scared, people panic. But I would love to just assure you that it will help you always with any change to react to authentic information. Find out the truth. Ungafana lomunye lengahlangana naye abaleka nesicumbi ngambuta ngathi ubalekelana. Wathakade ubona labanye babaleka. Ngoba utakwanza ukuthi lemvo loyibalekela ngilemvo boyoyifuna. So it will be very important to you that as you hear the information, check it. Authenticate the information. And Standard Bank is saying, we're here, ungeva ngemuva, come and hear it from us. So you can go to any of the platforms that have been made available here. If you're in business, you have a relationship manager. If you're in private banking, you have a banker. If you're not in any of these other channels, we have the Voice Branch, as Pamela has said. Or you can just walk into any of our branches or digital branches and you will get information. Standard Bank offers you a variety of digital banking solutions to help you manage your money and bank with ease. And one of these, of course, is what we're speaking about today here, international payments. You can check out the Standard Bank website at www.standardbank.co.za or visit your nearest branch to find out more. Or you can stay up to date on our social media platforms. And of course, this has been the Blue Table Talk series. Now, on Facebook, you will always hear about the next one, and you will always be informed if you join the Blue Table Talks. But until next time, please do enjoy seamless international transactions. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for engaging with us this evening. And thank you to our incredible panelists for being with me this evening as well. And once again, I want to reiterate, we are here for you, and do not panic. It will be a safe landing. Thank you, and have yourself a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
You are growing now. Your dreams are becoming reality. What was impossible yesterday is possible today. Whether you're planning for your family's future, building your legacy, buying your first home, or achieving your academic milestones, you have found a partner to transact with, lend from, insure with, and invest with. You've discovered a bank that grows with you. With Standard Bank, you have the power to make your dreams a reality. From secure online transactions and flexible lending options to comprehensive insurance coverage and smart investment opportunities, we've got you. Experience the confidence of banking with a partner who is as committed to your growth as you are. Because at Standard Bank, we believe in turning possibilities into extraordinary achievements. Now that's growth. Standard Bank.